Hello everyone, good evening. I'm Shreya Dhoundial. It is good to see you. It is day 27 of the farmer protest in Delhi, and by the looks of it, it is not ending anytime soon. An invitation has gone out to farmers from the government on yet another round of talks. The government wants the farmers to give them a date. Farmers, though, don't seem to be in a hurry, and they say they will take a call tomorrow if they want to speak to the government. As this plays out, a severe cold wave is blowing across North India, making things very tough for farmers who are parked at Delhi's borders. But why are the farmers refusing to budge when the government is giving them written assurances and guarantees on the MSP and mandis? Do all farmers oppose farm laws, or just the ones from Punjab and Haryana, some parts of UP as well? And what does India think of farm protests? Not just the farmers, but common citizens as well. All of that is coming up over the next 30 minutes right here on Debrief. We are starting with all that has happened today. From Rajasthan in tractor trolleys, from Maharashtra in buses, farmers continue to make their way to Delhi's borders. It is day 27 of the protests, and farmers are in no hurry to get back to the talking table. After a 7-hour meeting, they decided to keep the government hanging and said that they would return with a date tomorrow. They have accused the government of time-wasting tactics and approaching their demand with closed ears and a closed mind.
भारत की सरकार बजाय अपना दिमाग ठीक करन दे वो काउंटर प्रोपेगेंडा करने की कोशिश कर रही है।
उन्होंने कहा कि ये बिल किसानों की दृष्टि से बहुत कारगर हैं, किसानों के लिए फायदे में हैं, कि जल्दी उनका विचार विमर्श पूरा होगा और वो आएंगे और चर्चा करेंगे और हम लोग समाधान निकालने में सफल होंगे।
The government had written a 5-page letter asking 39 farm unions on when they would like to talk. There have already been 6 rounds of negotiations between the government and protesting farmers, who are mostly from Punjab, Haryana and UP. The last round of talks happened on December 8th with Home Minister Amit Shah. The centre agreed to concessions and put their promise of MSP and mandis in writing, but that too was rejected by farmers. The Prime Minister, in yet another effort to reach out to farmers, made a surprise trip to the Rakabganj Gurudwara in Delhi and appealed for reason.
हम सर झुकाकर किसान भाइयों के सामने हाथ जोड़कर बहुत ही विनम्रता के साथ देश के किसान के हित में उनकी चिंता का निराकरण करने के लिए हर मुद्दे पर बात करने के लिए तैयार हैं।
With farmers digging in their heels for a complete withdrawal of the 3 farm bills, the protest is likely to stretch well into the next year. Protesting farmer unions say the government is approaching their demands with a closed ear and mind, that its aim is to make farmers suffer in this bitter cold. As the chill deepens between the government and farmers, a massive outreach program is currently underway to try and convince farmers of the need for these 3 farm laws. The Prime Minister has led from the front and has spoken over 25 times on these new farm laws. Mara Shakil getting us the details.
आज इस कार्यक्रम में भंडारण, कोल्ड स्टोरेज यानी वेयर हाउसिंग, कोल्ड स्टोरेज, इससे जुड़े इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर और अन्य सुविधाओं का लोकार्पण और शिलान्यास भी हुआ है।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi leading from the front, spearheading the efforts to convince farmers on farm reforms. The Prime Minister has spoken over 25 times on multiple platforms and on multiple occasions, from the ramparts of the Red Fort, in election rallies and in his Mann Ki Baat address.
भारत में खेती और उससे जुड़ी चीजों के साथ नए आयाम जुड़ रहे हैं। बीते दिनों हुए कृषि सुधारों ने किसानों के लिए नई संभावनाओं के द्वार भी खोले हैं। कई विषयों पर
The government says it has conducted 1.4 lakh training and webinar sessions, reaching out to 93 lakh farmers from June to November. As talks with the farmer groups failed, Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar penned an emotional open letter saying he himself is from a farming family and understands the uncertainties associated with farming. The 8-page letter was translated in various vernacular languages in a bid to reach out to farmers in every nook and corner of the country.
लिखित में देने में कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, हम लोग जरूर इस बात को विचार करेंगे और दे देंगे। अगर किसान के मन में कोई शंका है तो उस शंका का निवारण किया जाएगा।
Understanding the communication gap with the farmers, the government then fielded top ministers, all warning protesters to dissociate themselves from those trying to hijack the protests.
The farmers' protest, which is on questions of they not being clear, probably is gotten hijacked by such elements for whom protest in India is now becoming an exercise to recover some of their lost ground.
As the Prime Minister so beautifully put while laying the foundation of the new parliamentary building, quoting Guru Nanak, कुछ कहिए कुछ सुनिए, हम आपकी सुनने को तैयार हैं, अभी कुछ कहिए कुछ हमारी भी तो सुनिए।
Keeping up the momentum, the Government of India released a 106-page booklet countering what they called myths and misinformation regarding the laws. It compared how MSP payments for paddy and wheat for farmers have increased multi-fold from UPA to the NDA. It claimed that the Modi government bought 74 times more pulses than the UPA. The government quoted statistics that over 10 crore farmers have benefited under the Prime Minister Kisan Man Dhan Yojana with an amount of rupees 95,628 crore being released so far. This Yojana, with a minimal premium, promises up to 3,000 rupees per month pension to farmers. The government says that these reforms are steps in the right direction, one that aims at doubling the farmers' income.
देश के गरीब का, देश के गांव का भला होगा। साथियों, भारत की कृषि, भारत का किसान अब और पिछड़ेपन में नहीं रह सकता।
The APMC, or the Mandi Bypass Act, over which farmers have been up in arms over the last few weeks, was abolished years ago in Bihar. What impact did it have on farmers when Mandi shut down? Take a look.
Far away from the protesters at Delhi's borders on the outskirts of Patna, Uma Shankar Sharma collects the crops he grew this year. Sharma is not only satisfied with his produce, he's also happy to get the right price when he sells them in the market. He recalls the days when the APMC Act was in place and he was bound to sell his produce to market committees. He says he never got a fair price because of middlemen.
अनाज का भाव आधा हम लोग के हो जाता था। अब सीधे डायरेक्ट जो वहाँ तौल हुआ और जितना कीमत हुआ वो सीधे बैंक के खाता में चले जाता है। बिचौलिया से कोई मतलब नहीं है।
Not just Uma Shankar, several other farmers in his village are relieved because they have the freedom to sell their crop anywhere. They feel what Nitish Kumar did a decade and a half ago by shutting down the mandi system has only benefited them.
यहाँ बिहार में उस आंदोलन से कोई लेना देना नहीं है, किसान खुश हैं और बढ़िया से अपना सब कुछ जीवन जीविका चल रहा है।
मोदी जी बनाए हैं कानून वो किसानों के हित के लिए। आज तक ऐसा प्रधानमंत्री न हुआ था न होगा।
After abolishing the APMC Act in 2006, the Bihar government went the extra mile for farmers. Primary agricultural cooperative societies, or PACs, have been engaged in procuring paddy directly from the farmers in each panchayat. It has been done to ensure that farmers get fair and remunerative prices for their crops. Many private companies also buy directly from farmers.
बहुत सारे कंपनियां हैं वो डायरेक्टली फार्मर से अप्रोच करके भी वहीं से भी क्रय कर रहे हैं। हाँ, अभी भी हो रहा है, कई सालों से हो रहा है।
Bihar's farmers feel that if there's one thing that's lacking, it's that every block needs cold storage units.
कोई कोल्ड स्टोर यहाँ नहीं है कि जो जमा कर दे और समय पर बेचे कि 2 पैसा लाभ हो। इसलिए कोल्ड स्टोर प्रखंड स्तर पर एक ठो होना जरूरी है।
No big protests have taken place against the farm laws in Bihar yet. The farmers here have learned to increase their resources to get maximum benefits. Bureau Report, CNN News 18.
And therefore the question, why are farmers from only Punjab, Haryana and some parts of western Uttar Pradesh on the protest path? Why not farmers from Bihar or any other part of the country? Fact is that the maximum benefit of the MSP over the years has gone to these 3 states. 75% of procurement by the Food Corporation of India happens from these 3 to 4 states under the MSP. Now, if the system changes, they have the most to lose, not small farmers from other states. In Uttar Pradesh, for example, more than 85% farmers fall under the marginalized category, and some are going the collective way to make profits from these new farm laws. Pranshu Mishra with this ground report.
Village Ramnagar Dhaurara on the Ayodhya-Gorakhpur highway is home to management graduate turned farmer Vinay Singh, who has ushered in an era of new possibilities for hundreds of small and marginalized farmers in the region. Conceptualized and promoted by him, the Farmers Producers Organization FPO of Ayodhya district already has 500 farmers as stakeholders, and this number is growing.
कंपनी जो है पूरी किसानों की है और इसका कंपनी एक्ट में इसका रजिस्ट्रेशन है जिसमें किसान अपने फसल की ब्रांडिंग और पैकेजिंग इसी के उस पे कर सकता बिहार पे।
FPOs first came about in 2013 but got government attention much later. The centre declared setting up of 10,000 new FPOs in the budget for 2019-20. UP has some 600 such organizations and they found big support among farmers.
इसके पहले तो पारंपरिक खेती करते थे, लेकिन 1 महीने से जुड़ा हुआ है। अभी तो यहाँ आता रहता हूँ, सीख रहा हूँ।
तो पारंपरिक खेती में जो अनुभव होते थे, आप लोगों को एमएसपी मिल पाती थी, गेहूं, धान?
नहीं, एमएसपी नहीं, बस वही बिचौलिया या जो गांव का बनिया होता था वही आके ले जाता था।
डर की कोई बात नहीं है, क्योंकि हम दोनों लोग एक एग्रीमेंट के तहत जाएंगे।
अच्छा।
और इसमें एग्रीमेंट में किसानों को ज़्यादा छूट है, व्यापारियों को नहीं छूट है।
The FPO system has also enabled a different approach to the farm laws. Unlike the protesting farmers, these farmers, far from being afraid, are optimistic.
वो पंजाब के आदमी जो है वो माल काटे हुए हैं पहले से, माल काटे उनको छूट बहुत मिल चुकी है। वो छूट यहाँ पर है नहीं, उनको गाड़ी भी फाइनेंस हो जाती है, ब्याज कम पड़ता है। और यहाँ पर 50,000 1 लाख रुपया लोन ले लो तो तुरंत आरसी भेजते हैं, 1 साल में रिन्यूअल न करवाओ।
और जो बड़े पूंजीपति आएंगे उनसे डर नहीं लगता?
कुछ नहीं, कौन डर, किसान को डर कहाँ लगता है।
Uttar Pradesh is dominated by small and marginal farmers, and the dynamics here differ hugely from Punjab and Haryana. Here, the mandi system holds few rewards, and MSP rates have been a distant dream for most farmers. The FPO concept assures a better deal under the new laws.
Even as the debate and protest over the new farm laws rages on, barely 70 kilometers from state capital Lucknow, hundreds of farmers are encrypting a new story through their collective initiative. They feel that the new farm laws will further empower the FPOs and give more opportunity for larger profits. Anything that will end the middleman system, curb corruption and bring in more competition in the market is a welcome move for them. With video journalist Bimbadhar, this is Pranshu Mishra in Faizabad for CNN News 18.
So, are the farm laws good or bad? What does India think about it? Here are the results of a survey that was conducted by News 18.
As the farmer protests rage on in the national capital, here is a question. Do all farmers and citizens support the protest? Are all of them against the 3 farm laws? Here is what a News 18 survey found. Over 2,400 respondents were surveyed across 22 states and union territories. 56% believed that the farmers should call off their protests. 53% backed the new farm laws, while another 53% say that farmers must not insist on repealing the 3 laws. 48% Indians believe the protests are politically motivated. 54% support a written assurance on minimum support price given to farmers. Over 61% respondents believe that farmers will get a better price under the new farm laws. 73% back the modernization and upgradation of the agriculture sector. It's safe to say a majority of Indians support the new farm laws. Let's break down the numbers state-wise. In 15 of the 22 states surveyed, over 70% respondents backed farmers being given the choice to sell outside mandis. In Bihar and Maharashtra, one which had scrapped APMC and the other which had delisted products to be sold in APMC, there is wide backing for the new reforms. Over 80% respondents in Bihar and Maharashtra supported the choice to sell outside mandis. 83% people in Maharashtra and 71% people in Bihar backed the new farm laws. 72% people in the highest rice-producing states of West Bengal, Punjab and Uttar Pradesh also backed the move. 75% of those surveyed in the highest wheat-producing states like Uttar Pradesh, Punjab and Madhya Pradesh support the move. To sum it up, most Indians support the farm laws and see it as a tool for reforms in the agriculture sector.
Okay, now to another specific of the new farm laws. Farmers will be allowed to sell their produce wherever they want to whoever they want to under the new law. Protesting farmers are fearing that if the mandis go, they will be left at the mercy of corporates. But a young apple farmer from Shopia in Jammu and Kashmir is showing us why that fear may be unfounded. He's selling his apples online to great success.
And this is about being vocal for local too, with a strong touch of modern India to boot. Meet Adnan Ali Khan of Shopia, an MBA who's pursuing his PhD and making a big impact on the digital marketing platform.
प्रोडक्ट को हम अच्छा से डेवलप करेंगे और इसको सप्लाई चेन ब्रेक करेंगे। जो हम पुराने तरीके से ट्रेडिशनल तरीके से काम कर रहे थे उसको टोटली चेंज करना है। आज ऑनलाइन का ज़माना है, डिजिटल का ज़माना है, तो हम इसको ऑनलाइन बेचेंगे। तो फिर ये आइडिया धीरे धीरे मैच्योर होता गया। फिर हमने इसकी छोटी पैकिंग देखी, बाहर हमने थोड़ा रिसर्च किया।
The 29-year-old from South Kashmir's Shopia sells almost all apple variants from his own orchard via online orders. Quantities range from a single apple to multiple dozens in a deal. Innovation is key here, and the new farm laws give him just the opening and license he needs. He's delivered close to 10,000 orders over the last few months.
हम भी सीखते गए और आगे चलते गए और आज अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह हमारा प्रोडक्ट जो है मार्केट में अवेलेबल है। अब हमारा पैन इंडिया भी जा रहा है। अभी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की बहुत कमी है, बड़ा अच्छा रिस्पांस आ रहा है और लोगों को ऐसी क्वालिटी आज तक नहीं मिली है।
He's got some recognition for it too. An appreciation certification from the Lieutenant Governor, Manoj Sinha, besides commendation from local director, horticulture. Adnan says he's open to suggestions and is willing to help anyone who's interested to jump onto the limitless internet bandwagon. Because the freedom to do it is here at last.
On that note, a quick break here on Debrief. Up next, the economic fallout of the farmer protest. That's up next. Do stay with us.
We produced over 10,000 garments daily. But for the last couple of weeks, the best that they can come up with is 2,000 to 3,000.
See, I think there are approximately 1,800 to 2,000 units which are operational in Kundli as of now. And the agitation has been going on for almost like 20 days now. And there has been a huge impact on the industrial area. And if this continues for a long term, I don't think that factory operations would be possible. And if this goes for a couple of months, then we might have to shut shop also.
Not just factories. The highway and border blockades have led to dhabas in Haryana's Murthal wearing a deserted look.
नुकसान काफ़ी मात्रा में है सर। जैसे पहले कोरोना वायरस था, उसमें हमारा भी काम डाउन था, बहुत ज़्यादा डाउन था, होटल भी नहीं खुले हुए थे। उसके बाद फिर ये किसान आंदोलन शुरू हो गया। अब इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा कम भीड़ है, काम है नहीं है बिल्कुल भी। हमें किराया भी है, रेंट भी है, सारी चीज़ें हैं, लेकिन कुछ भी नहीं निकल रहा और बहुत बुरा हाल है कुल मिला के।
मूर्थल में हम कह सकते हैं कि रोज़ाना एक दिन का 10 करोड़ का बिजनेस है सर। 40 आउटलेट हैं छोटे और बड़े मिलाकर, और इस बिज़नेस पे तकरीबन 70 से 80% का असर पड़ चुका है।
According to industry body ASSOCHAM, the farmer protests are resulting in a daily loss of 3,000 to 3,500 crores. The Confederation of Indian Industry says the agitation has led to supply chain disruption. It's gone far beyond just traffic disruptions in the national capital region. With Runjhun Sharma in Sonipat, Anisya Kumar for CNN News 18.
There's a similar story that is playing out in Punjab's Jalandhar as well. Traders, already reeling under the economic fallout of the pandemic, have now been hit by these protests with mounting losses. Take a look.
The ongoing mass agitation by farmers has resulted in the temporary shutdown of various businesses in Punjab. Small-scale industries as well as the common man have felt the impact. Vijay Dheer, president of the sports industry in Jalandhar, has claimed there is a huge dip in the sale of sports commodities as the chain of supply of goods from Punjab to Delhi and vice versa is stopped due to the shutdown of transport between the two states.
ਕੁਝ ਕਿਸਾਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਟ੍ਰਾਈਕ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਭਾਰੀ ਨੁਕਸਾਨ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੈ। ਹੁਣ ਕੀ ਰॉ ਮਟੀਰੀਅਲ ਦੇ ਹਾਲਾਤ ਦੇਖੀਏ, ਜਦੋਂ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਐਜੀਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਚੱਲੀ ਹੈ ਕਿਸਾਨਾਂ ਦੀ, ਰॉ ਮਟੀਰੀਅਲ ਇੰਨੇ ਸ਼ੂਟ ਅਪ ਕਰੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪੜਤੇ ਸੀ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ। ਔਰ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਹਾਈਵੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਜਾਮ ਹੈ, ਹਾਈਵੇ ਤੇ ਆਵਾਜਾਈ ਸਾਰੀ ਬੰਦ ਹੈ, ਨਾ ਮਾਲ ਆ ਸਕਦੇ ਨੇ ਨਾ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਨੇ।
Rohit Anand, a trader, says that businesses are suffering due to the shutdown of transport facilities between Delhi and neighboring states. He believes that it will be business as usual only after a solution is found which opens the Delhi borders.
देखो जी, किसान अंदोलन ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਾਰੋਬਾਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਫਰਕ ਪਿਆ। ਇੱਕ ਤਾਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਉਧਰਲੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਲੱਗਾ ਹੋਇਆ, ਬੱਚੇ ਖੇਡਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੇ। ਦੂਸਰੀ ਸਟੇਟ ਤੋਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਘੱਟ ਬੰਦਾ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ, ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਡਰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਸਟੇਟ ਦੇ ਦੂਜੇ ਸਟੇਟ ਤੋਂ ਐਂਟਰ ਕਰਾਂਗਾ। ਦਿੱਲੀ ਦੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਸਮਾਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਧਰੋਂ ਟਰਾਂਸਪੋਰਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਸਾਰੀ ਬੰਦ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਹੈ, ਮਾਲ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ।
The farmer strike has delivered a crippling blow to small businesses, already reeling from the pandemic and lockdown. Their voices remain as important as the farmers, but it seems few are interested. Bureau Report, CNN News 18.
Farmers protesting the centre's agriculture law now say that they will be writing to British political leaders and asking them to stop UK's Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who will be the chief guest at the next month's Republic Day celebrations right here in Delhi, from travelling to India till their demands are met. Can the government convince farmers to come back to the talks table before that? We'll know in the next 24 hours. Thanks for watching. Good night.
बिजनेस प्रभु राम सबके हैं।